Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
Kind of a two-part question. One, the first one being schools, like how are schools being incorporated into this with the influx of eventually kids that will move into these homes? And two is I live on Trail Ridge, at the end of Trail Ridge, so my property borders both of those where that road is going right next to my property. Trail Ridge is the small little rectangle,
Where
right
your
there, the
road
road
is-
shooting straight up. Right
Where the
there.
emergency road is,
I think-
right on that border is
think-
our
So that's,
properties.
yeah, our properties are right there at the corner. So you had mentioned that the hedges and stuff like that, 75-foot hedge, when they don't exist, are you gonna go plant stuff in there? And to be frank, 75 feet, when you're talking about compatibility with agriculture, like we have livestock, we have sheep, pigs, chickens, all that. It's 75 feet of planted trees is not gonna prevent much, you know, in the way of sound and stuff like that. On both sides, right? Your residents that will be buying your homes are gonna hear all of our animals. And there's a donkey, I know, right on the other side of that road too. So how you're gonna prepare and let these people who are buying what they think is a residential home, surrounded by us agricultural people, and how you're gonna prevent that clashing from happening, I think is two parts. That makes sense, hopefully it works.
So I think that communities like this, when they're built in agricultural areas, do have the potential to clash, and I don't think you can avoid it. So then it all comes down to this. In Florida, a buyer and a seller have their rights also. And sometimes they clash with a neighborhood. In the local agenda process, there's two board hearings. You go to the P&Z, you argue your case there, they look around the room, listen to everything y'all have to say, then it goes to the BOCC, and if a comp plan or a land use issue is not governed in a way that's consistent with development standards within Florida, they can decide to mediate or litigate the settlement. All of those things don't change by y'all participating in a workshop or us addressing your specific issues. And I've heard from just about everybody who's talked now, they like even bigger buffers than 75-foot vegetated buffers, and 75-foot vegetated buffers is probably 5 times bigger than a lot of the code requirements. So that, you know, they're already heading in the right direction on the buffer part. And then the water quality and stormwater issues, it's gonna be central water and sewer from the city of Brooksville. Stormwater is heavily regulated by the Water Management District. So when you get to what the board is actually supposed to be talking to us about when we get our public hearing, it's density and buffers, density and buffers, density and buffers.
I didn't say anything about the water, just, and then you had said you were gonna leave, for the 75-foot buffer, you were gonna leave it as it was.
Natural.
But there isn't a natural buffer there, there's
There isn't.
nothing, it's all.
No, the park's not planted, will be planted.
Will be planted, okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, and then